Another big worm that we have at Rage Tail and Strike King is brand new. It's called the Rage ReCon worm. This worm has ribs all along the body that makes it very soft for the fish to bite, and you can also see that the body moves very well and very easily in the water. So it makes it a lot better worm for this reason. You just pop the little tear tabs loose on the back. And what happens is not only do these little ribs and rings trap bubbles and things like that, but it also, when the fish bites down on it, it's so soft that they take the entire worm in their mouth, whereas the bigger worms, a lot of times, even a smaller fish, they'll try to eat the entire worm, but a lot of times that body won't fold up real easy so that they get the entire worm in their mouth, including the hook. But that's what this worm offers. It's about an 8.5 to 9-inch worm, and you'll notice that it's got that rib on the belly of it, just like our anaconda does, and it also has that patented rage flange on the tail. There's a variety of ways to rig this worm as well. I'll show you a few of them. Right here, we're gonna rig it up on a Texas rig. All you do, I've got a 4/0 hook, and I'm using about a 1/4 ounce, maybe 3/8 ounce tour grade tungsten right there, sliding up and down the line. And I'll take the worm itself, just take the point of the hook, run it down through the bait about a 1/2 inch, slide it up over the hook, cover the knot. Then I like to fish this with the tail facing up. So I'm going to put the hook in the belly of the bait right here. Since this is an EWG hook, we want to Texpose it, or actually bring it out the other side of the body, and these rings give you the perfect opportunity to skin hook in the ring itself. So now that hook is right in the rings on the body of the bait itself. So if a fish touches it, it's easy for them to get that hook. So this is a Texas rig. That's a Texas rig ReCon worm. And of course I'm using a sliding weight on it so that when the fish picks up the bait off the bottom, he doesn't feel the pressure of the weight. And he's more apt to go ahead and take that deep into his mouth. When you feel the pressure, lay into him. Now if you want to flip it, if you want to flip this worm, it's a great flipping worm as well, but you want to put a weight stop on your line, or you want to make it to where you peg the weight so that it stays with the worm itself. A lot of times when we're flipping, we want to make sure that that weight stays right with our bait. That way, when we're fishing it through trees and grass and stuff like that, you don't want the weight falling free of the bait itself, hitting the bottom of the line, making you think it could be a bite, and then you set the hook and you miss, or set the hook into a tree or something. So just remember, when we're fishing Texas rig, let that weight slide free on your line. When you're flipping it, go ahead and peg it to the bait itself. That's our new ReCon worm. Another way to rig it is you can rage rig it like we have here. That's using a weighted hook. Using a weighted hook on any of your soft plastics. Just just attach it. I'm actually using a screw lock hook. This is a Moner weighted hook right here. And that's the brand Moner. And what you do is you just do it just like you did with the Texas rig. You can Texpose it. You just run through the body of the worm, come out, and then skin hook into the rings. So now it's totally weedless, but as soon as the fish bites down, all he has to do is bend that little rib and he's got the hook point in his mouth. What the Rage rig actually does is it gives us a benefit of a horizontal profile, very slow. A lot of people think that since we're putting a weighted hook on there, it's to throw and just swim it back. Not so, that's not the way I like to fish it. What I do is throw it out there, let it fall horizontally over shallow grass, shallow rocks. In fact, in rocks, it's almost impossible to get this thing hung up. You know how we're fishing jigs, Texas rigs, things like that in rocks, a lot of times it gets hung up. This doesn't. It's a slow moving, What you want to do is move it as slow as you can, because when you move it up off the bottom, when it falls back, all the action of the bait itself from the horizontal fall is what actually draws the bite for you. So you might check this out, and not just with the ReCon worm. Choose any worm or any soft plastic you like, and try putting on that weighted hook, which we call this a Rage rig. You might try this and see how that works out for you.